Okay, full disclosure, I did not think we were going to chat this soon. My name is Nicholas Diorio, and I'm joined by Turkey Tom and Mudahar of Some Ordinary Gamers. We're the farmers of the Lolcow podcast.
So as many of you guys know, I have probably been the person to document Keemstar the most out of anybody on YouTube. And I'm not joking when I say that one of the most insane and hilarious clips of Keemstar just got released today. So for context, Keemstar has started a project called Lolcow Live, where Boogie2988, Wings of Redemption, and Tommy C do a podcast together, and then the farmers consisting of Turkey Tom, Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers, and Nicholas Diorio react and laugh at those Lolcow podcast episodes. But before this format for the show was announced, Boogie and Mudahar got into some drama unrelated to the podcast, which caused Mudahar to make a response video on his 3 million subscriber channel. Something that Boogie would obviously be dying to respond to, but was holding himself back as he promised that he would only talk about drama on Keemstar's Lolcow podcast. But with the podcast being a week away from launching, and Boogie being Boogie, he couldn't help himself and decided to go onto Review Tech USA's live stream in order to talk to him about this drama, which caused Keemstar to absolutely lose it in Review Tech USA's stream chat, claiming twice that Boogie has been kicked from Lolcow Live. And if you thought that was an overreaction, listen to these voice memos Keemstar left Boogie right after he left Review Tech USA's stream at Keem's request.
Fuck you and your stupid fucking head. Your fucking retarded fucking head. I talked to you before you went on. In my other group chat, people were like, oh, Boogie's calling into Rich. I fucking called you. We spoke. I said, don't give Rich the tea. Your exact words to me were, oh, I'm just going to go on there and tell him I'm busy, right? So you call into Rich. You tell him I'm busy. He starts milking you. You start answering every fucking question because you're an attention fucking freak. And then you have a face-off with Muta on Rich's stream. The face-off between you and Muta should be on your podcast. That's monetized, that you make money on. Fuck you and your stupid fucking head. This is not a mistake. This is not an accident, you fucking retard. You did this on purpose. I talked to you before you went in. I fucking hate you. Fuck you. All the time and effort into this fucking show to help you guys out, and you can't do the simplest task. I fucking hate you. I hate you. I hate you. Retard.
Yeah, obviously I fucked up. I was just going to go there to promote the show. I didn't know Muta was going to come in there and pull his shit. I should have left when Muta showed up and said, save it for the show. But you're right. I respect your decision. Let me know if you need any of the passwords or anything like that. I'll be glad to hand them over. And let me know if you change your mind. And also, you didn't call me and you didn't talk to me. You sent me a message here, but you didn't call and talk to me. We didn't talk. I mean, I understand you're upset right now, but we didn't talk.
I need you to fuck off. Like, seriously, fuck off. I need you to get on your fucking hands and knees, have your girlfriend fucking film you and say, I'm sorry, Keemstar. I'm sorry, Jordy. I'm sorry, fucking Tommy C, Nicholas Diorio, Muta, fucking Tom, everybody that's even fucking cared about the Lolcow podcast. I'm such a selfish attention fucking retard that I want attention. I want to be in conversation so bad that I gave the entire storyline of what's been happening on episode 1 to fucking Review Tech USA, because I'm so thirsty to talk to someone. I'm that big of a fucking loser. Make that video, you piece of shit.
I'm sorry, Tommy C. I'm sorry, Daddy Keemstar. I'm sorry, Nicholas Di Fiorio. I don't know how to pronounce him. I'm sorry, Jordy. I'm fucking sorry. It was fucking stupid of me to go on Rich's fucking show and give away the fucking storyline. I'm a fucking attention hog piece of shit. It was fucking stupid. I should have left the moment Muta came on. I'm fucking stupid. And I'm fucking sorry. I understand your decision. I'll hand over any passwords you need, wherever you want.
Hey y'all, what's good? I'm back with another video, and so it's been a lot of crazy things going on with Lolcow Live, the Lolcow podcast, man. And y'all know I've been covering all of this. I've been covering this shit with Boogie. So the second episode of the podcast just dropped a little bit ago. It's taking me a little bit longer to get this video out than I wanted to. I had some personal things come up, and I had to run to the store real quick. But we back at it. I got all my clips together here, and we finna talk about all this, okay? So it was like a little drama, man. It was a little drama in the group chat that went down. And that fucking crazy video that you see there, Boogie on his knees calling Keemstar daddy and shit. Dude, that shit's so funny. I just want to say, man, Keem is such a good entertainer, dude. Like, the way he makes those videos and he's all like, Boogie, you fucking idiot. It's so fucking, he's so good, bro. He's such a good entertainer. So the Lolcow podcast, we're going to get into all these clips. Real quick, I want to say is that they talked about a lot of good things, and honestly, like, they didn't lie about Boogie. They were pretty spot on. My concerns and my takeaways is just like the response, right? The way that they enact their beliefs and opinions about Boogie. I feel like that's where it's an issue. And I get it. At the end of the day, like, Boogie's doing what he's doing, and they don't have to give a fuck. They don't have to play nice or whatever. But I got my opinions, so we're gonna share them. I do want to say one thing though, as far as like pure entertainment value goes, the Lolcow podcast, like with the actual Lolcows, not the farmers, was far more entertaining, you know, just because the nature of them being Lolcows, right? A lot of these guys that they put on the farmers are kind of just boring dudes, right? But Muda, y'all know I don't like Muda, but the thing is that Muda, man, I think he's like autistic or something, because he kept talking over them in like the rudest manner. And like, obviously when you're doing this kind of shit on stream and everything, and you're having these debates, and it is over live stream, so there's a delay, so there's always like people are going to interrupt by accidentally. But the way Muda does it, he just kind of seems like a socially awkward weirdo, and we're going to get into that a little bit more, because it's one clip that I have where like Tom gets cut off, man, and Muda never let Tom finish what he was saying. So like, I'll address that at that point, but didn't want to say that. So they're not as entertaining, but it was all like really good information. It was a good conversation. If you just want to listen to what they have to say and like have like a kind of like just a chilled out civil conversation, man, that's what this is. And it was pretty interesting, but it was not as entertaining as the Lolcows. Without further ado, let's get straight into the content.
He's just like, I don't know. He's like you have to treat him like a fucking child sometimes, because he's just not mature enough to handle a grown-up conversation. Even when I was on that talk with Rich, I was correcting him on this exact issue, and he starts screaming like a fucking 6-year-old.
So here's the thing, man, is that like I get this is how Boogie is, but you don't have to do anything. And since you don't like the guy, you hate the guy, you don't give a fuck about the guy, and you have your opinions about him, if he is so fucking like his own worst enemy and he's so incompetent that you have to treat him like a 6-year-old, dude, why do you have the attitude that you do? Like, it's very unlikable, dude. Like, I don't like this guy Muda. And it's like he acknowledges that Boogie's like incompetent, but then he wants to bully the incompetent guy. Like, what, bro? That doesn't make sense.
Because I'm sure, like, when I say this, it resonates with a lot of the viewers. Like, I grew up watching that guy and watching him talk about video games, and he's starting to get back into stuff like that now, but it's like, holy fuck,
it's hard to get him to focus on that.
Trajectory.
It's hard to get him to focus on that. I haven't really said this publicly, but I was at Boogie's house just a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago now.
Did he shoot you?
No, he did joke with me a little bit about that, actually, with like a BB gun when I got to the door. But I was there, and I was trying to get him to like make just like, you know, normal content about games and stuff. And when he posted it, he was like, "Oh, that was a good idea. You maybe post a video about the Danis fight. It's like a 3 out of 10. Like, that was a good idea." And I was like, "Yeah, you should do that every day." But for some reason, like Nick, you and I have talked about this. There seems to be this like Lolcow gene where no matter how much good advice you give one of these people, they refuse to take it and actually better themselves.
So this clip right here is actually very interesting to me, because Turkey Tom expresses a level of like genuine care and thought for Boogie that I didn't think he had. Now, Tom is one of these people that for the most part, when you watch his content, he seems to come off, especially when it comes to Boogie, as very harsh and cold, right? Very uncaring, very uncharitable, right? But right here, you hear him, he went over to his house. It seems like the closer the guy's getting to Boogie, the more like of a genuine care Tom does seem to have for the guy, which is good, right? But then right after that, he goes on to say that it's like, I gave him this good advice and he took it, but it's like, no matter how much you give Lolcow advice, they have this gene where they not finna accept it, they're not finna internalize it and change their life. And to me, that's not like a choice thing. What I'm saying, it's a skill issue. Because when you're there where you're with the guy and you got him right in front of you, he listens and he cares and he wants to help and he tells you it's a good idea. But he's unable to execute, you know? He's got a lot going on in his head, and some people just can't handle that. Some people haven't figured it out. And what works best from people, what I have found, is positive reinforcement. All this negativity, this criticism doesn't help, man. If you just tell him, like, to do the right thing and he fucks up, tell him, man, it's okay, just do the right thing next time. And it's a much more impactful way of going about things than wanting to give him advice and then getting mad at the guy when he doesn't always take that advice.
It's
Except this podcast, we can force him to do this, but we can't force him to get out of the bed and make a video and make money every day. It's crazy.
Now, Nick DiOrio right here, man, he hits the freaking nail on the head. So he says, like, with the podcast, man, we can get him to do this. And the reason is because it's multiple creators here working with the guy that's hands-on, able to make sure that they got a handle on Boogie, right? And if he gets out of line, you got someone like Daddy Keemstar, make him get down on his knees, right? And fucking say, I'm sorry, Daddy Keemstar, right? So, like, I guess the farmers are very necessary in this situation to herd the cows, man. It makes sense. Like, I'm kind of understanding the vibe of this podcast. But here's the thing is that y'all seem to not understand it. That's the level of, like, care that the dude needs. Like, he probably should have, like, a caretaker living with him. From what I understand, his ex-wife was the one that did that, and now he has a roommate that's doing that. So you gotta understand, I don't think this guy is that capable of living on his own and doing all these things on his own. And you seem to understand that at a level, but at the same time, it seems like when he does certain things, y'all don't give a fuck, y'all throw that shit out the window and just get mad at the guy. Now, no one has to be this hands-on with him and helping him and everything, but in the sense of a podcast, I hope it shows that if you do care enough to want to put in the work and deal with the bullshit, you can help the guy. He's open to it. He wants help. It's a skill issue. It's not that he fucking doesn't want to stay on the horse and ride the horse. It's that he keeps falling off. But you notice every time Boogie does get back on, he ain't never threw in the towel and just gave up. He's just very flawed. I think he tries hard, maybe sometimes tries too hard, gets burnt out and fails.
I wanted to start off also by saying I didn't join this podcast for an interest in drama. I actually joined it because I want Boogie to get better, you know? I almost feel like
all of us are doing, yeah.
I almost feel like this is so the way that I've envisioned this podcast, and people got to understand what the B team is about, right? Like, I think the best way to change Boogie Wings for the better is like fucking internet shock therapy. And it's not being mean, it's not being an asshole. It's just like when you deal with liars, when you deal with people who say I don't, you have to be there to counter them, you know, tactically. And I think only by doing that enough that they can actually, you know, see themselves for fucking who they are and maybe change, right? Maybe get rid of that Lolcow gene.
Now, when Mudahar says this, I pray to God that he genuinely does care and means well. Because I gotta tell you, man, maybe you really are autistic or something, bro, because maybe you don't have the social awareness to understand this, but you are not acting in any kind of way that you're being the guy's friend or helping the guy. It's okay to be critical, but constructive criticism is important. You're gonna want to do something that's called like a compliment sandwich, right? So start with something positive, hit him with the criticism, and then end it with something else positive, bro. But what you do is Boogie messes up and you like say that he's worthless and he's a fucking liar and a piece of shit and manipulator. Dude, you're not helping nobody. Shock therapy, that shit's not finna help nobody, bro. Like, you need to, tough love is gonna help him. I get what you're going for, but you are just being mean. You are just being a dick. You're literally just being a bully, man. And I hope it's because you're not understanding the impact that you're having and not because you genuinely have like this hate in your heart. I hope you do care. Think about it like a dog, man. You can train a dog with fear, right? You could hit a dog, kick a dog, yell at a dog, and they'll learn to not do a certain thing. Or you could train a dog with positive reinforcement. Now, it doesn't take much of a genius to know which one is better and to do a little bit of research and see the differences. Y'all are trying to train Boogie with fear, but I think positive reinforcement would be the correct play here.
But
Yeah, this guy will lie about fucking anything. I don't believe when he told me if he had...
It's like shit you don't have to lie about, too. That's the fucked up part. It's like... You know, this is the thing, like, when people are like, yo, why did Boogie's channel fall off or something? And I'm like, I think his channel, like, and this is where my thing is, he fell off because he's not a personality that anybody can connect with. You want to watch somebody that you can kind of, like, trust or understand or, like, you know, you don't, like, do you sit down with a compulsive liar and call them your friend in real life? No.
But
actually, yeah, man, I've had a lot of friends growing up that were, like, compulsive liars, like, to a T. And, like, constantly lying about things that have no need to lie for, which is like, that's a trait of a compulsive liar, which is the compulsive of it. You're responding to it like there's some like intentionality or some manipulation or hatred, but the fact that it's compulsive lying is that like it's something that's to a degree impulsive and out of the person's control and doesn't excuse it to any degree. Still need to work on it. But I can understand, man, because there'd be compulsive liars and other people in a certain friend group or something, they'd come to me, man, and they'd be like, dude, this person's always lying, yada yada, I can't stand it. And they'd be like up in arms about it. And I've always had like more of like empathy and like understanding for that kind of shit, because I'm like, yeah, it doesn't make sense, because they don't need to lie about it, and they have this image they want to uphold, or like this and that, or they're scared because of this. And like I see that like it's because of harm. It's because they want people to like them, they want people to respect them, they're afraid of all these things. And it doesn't excuse the bad behavior, but to respond with anger and then to lash back out, that just like you're just throwing salt in the wound. What I want to do is I want to maybe heal some wounds and help people. I think that's a much better way of going about things.
And then it just became this woe is me bullshit where he cries about his fucking life and all of his haters, and he can't interact with like 5 seconds of anybody talking shit on the internet. Dude, we're like, you're a fucking million sub YouTuber, you're a 3 million sub YouTuber. You guys have like the best fucking job in the world, okay? If the worst part of your day is somebody on Reddit saying that you're a piece of shit, Muda, you've had a pretty good day,
The
right?
thing is, that's the way you have to look at it. But Boogie, for whatever reason, it became like this crazy part of his neurosis. Like he was just obsessed with it. He was obsessed with this thread. And then he was obsessed with Christopher Tom when he made a video about the thread.
So right here, yeah, they hit on something very key to Boogie, is that Boogie brings a lot of this shit on himself. He focuses on all the negativity. Even at his downfall state where he's at, there's a lot of positive voices. There's a lot of supporters that he still has. If you actually watch his stream when he went on Review Tech USA, his chat is telling him like, dude, let's go back to playing Mario. Remember when we were having fun just playing a game? He's telling people like, fuck Muda. Like, why are you talking to Muda? Fuck this guy, just play the game, talk to your chat. But for some reason, Boogie just wants to focus on the drama and the negativity. And what's so unfortunate about that is you're depriving yourself from the joy. When Nick DiOrio is going on there talking about how, like, dude, if you have 3 million subs and you're doing a job that everyone would kill for, that people would die for, the worst thing that's happening to you is someone called you a bad name, that's a pretty good day. It's people starving in America. It's people out there shooting each other in the street. It's people out there being raped. All sorts of fucking debauchery going on, you know? And if that's your life, you're not living in poverty, you're not living a life of crime, like surrounded by all this negativity, man, that's something good. And if you focus on the good in your life, that's how you get enlightenment. That's how you grow. It's all about mindset at the end of the day. And Boogie, for whatever reason, just hasn't been able to get the right mindset.
Yeah, it was, and this is the thing, like he's not a very forward-thinking person. It's hard to even tell how self-aware he is in the moment, because when he you know, has a perceived slight, he just goes off, which is what happened with his group chat thing, where he saw that, and instead of thinking like, okay, maybe I'll message, okay, he knows Keem.
You know what?
Alright, so this was the clip I was talking about at the beginning. Now, it seemed like Turkey Tom here was getting at something very interesting, but then Muda cuts him off, and he never really finishes the point. But to speak on the beginning of what he was saying there, is that, yeah, it seems like this guy is lacking a basic level of self-awareness, general awareness, or whatever, and that's one of the big parts to me, is that, like, dude, we should be a little bit more empathetical to the situation, not necessarily, like, have sympathy for the guy, but have, like, a basic level of human empathy to understand, like, maybe this guy's not really in the driver's seat or doesn't really fully understand, and he just seems like a nice, sweet, chubby guy that fucks up a shit ton, you know, what a lot of people always thought. But it seems like people get tired when you keep shitting the bed. They don't want to keep cleaning up the shitty sheets, so people are at a point where they're getting mad at Boogie. And as much as you want to, as valid as it is, as much sense as it makes sense to be mad at the guy and respond how most people online are, it's the problem with our world. It's why we can't get along and move on. Everyone's trying their best, and you can't fucking, like, people are trying their best to figure it out, and when people are struggling, people can't help but to fucking make it even harder. I just don't want people to do that at the end of the day. I don't condone anything the guy's done. I don't support anything that he's done that was wrong. I just think that people are laying it on way too hard against a person that doesn't really deserve it, and maybe it isn't even fully capable of understanding what the fuck's happening.
I would have so much respect if instead of being the fucking Mr. Nice Guy, he was just like, fuck you, Muda, you smelly piece of shit. I'm gonna fucking break your teeth in. If he said that shit to me, dude, I would love Boogie. I would fucking be like, I love this guy. Because at least he's real, you know? Like, at least he's not fake to me. I would love if he would, because here's the thing. He keeps saying that, like, I hate him. I always feel like that's him, like, fucking projecting, okay? Like, this motherfucker seeds.
Well,
okay,
you did
anytime.
say you hate him, didn't you?
I mean, I dislike him. Well, in the video...
You said he was, like,
showed,
the worst person alive or something in one
Did
video.
I say... Well, no, I said he's a waste of life.
You're a waste of life. That's the quote, yeah.
It's so easy to catch Boogie in a lie.
And then he gets caught in a lie. Like, dude, you're the one projecting. You fucking hate him. But you make it out to be this high IQ thing where you're in this fucking high and mighty position and I'm in the right. And I need to call out this freaking liar. Dude, you're no better. Why don't we all just be real? Why don't we all just be real? You told Mike Klum when you talked to him that you don't know what it is about the guy, that you just can't fucking stand him, that he really gets your damn jimmies in the twist. And it's okay, man. You know, just like Boogie, you don't have to be fake and act like you don't hate him. Don't be fake. Yeah, just talk shit, man. You know, I'd have a lot more respect for you if you did.
He, as far as I know, hasn't financially scammed anyway. He's just emotionally manipulated.
No, he financially scammed himself, bro. He has no money.
Well, the difficult thing with him is, like, he would be more fun to work with if you could just take him at, like, face value. But you never really know, like, what Boogie you're dealing with, and sometimes it can get confusing. Sometimes you're dealing with, hey, man, I was just playing Super Mario Galaxy Boogie. Or sometimes you're dealing with him literally on his knees saying, Keemstar, I'm sorry. You know, like, you just don't know what Boogie you're going to get depending on the day.
So what Tom is saying right here, he's making a very good point, right? So there's different Boogies, and you don't know which one you're going to get. Which means that you should take every Boogie with a grain of salt, essentially, right? Until he proves that he's trustworthy and can be consistent on that basis, you should take everything the guy says with a grain of salt. And I do too. Don't get it twisted just because I'm making these videos or this or that or whatever. I'm not stupid. Never have been. Here's the thing, though, is that what it does show is that he may do things that are inherently manipulative, but he is not a manipulator. He is not at the top of the world pulling the strings, pushing all the levers, you know, doing all the right things. The dude has no consistency. He's fucking lost. He's a damn mess. And every time people freak out that he says something that's inherently manipulated, they get it conflated and they start calling him a manipulator. Dude, like he doesn't know what he's doing. He's not doing anything intentional. He's just a really big fuck up. And I just wish people would treat him more like that, as opposed to he's like evil or something, man. You know, that's all I'm saying.
The fake being nice. I think in his head he believes that he's like fucking this fucking level 99 charisma expert, and everyone's just fucking believing whatever sarcastic shit he says, when he's about the dumbest fucking person in the room, and you can figure out exactly what his emotional state is within the first 3 words that he speaks and the tone of his voice. That's it. He's like a fucking kid. Like
he's kind of a bad liar too, which is unfortunate because if he really liked to lie, at least try to be good at it. But he's rather bad, I would say.
Well, he was a good liar. We wouldn't know, and he'd still be like famous.
So right here, just another example is that Muda seems to be the only one that's coming with this kind of energy. He's getting all hype, and then Tom's just like, yeah, well, he's kind of a bad liar. It'd be more entertaining if he was like a good liar. And then Diorio adds that, like, yeah, if he was a good liar, he'd still be famous. So yeah, that's the thing, man. You gotta understand that he's not some kind of mass manipulator. Like, what he's doing is not working because he's just a fucking dumbass. If he was a manipulator, it would be working. Everybody would be fooled. You want to see the biggest manipulator, the most manipulator person on YouTube? His name is Mr. Beast, and all the kids love him. You know why? Because he's manipulative. You know, truly manipulative, truly narcissistic person. They have power, and the people actually fucking rock with them and actually like them, and they're all fooled. He got them fooled. That's some 99 charisma shit, not Boogie. So Muda, I don't know why you so pressed. Like, dude, you don't have the right response to this. That's all I'm trying to tell you, bro. You might be right about your prescriptions, but the way that you're applying them, it's wrong.
When he said that he was like scared of me and like a fucking fan going, I'm fucking livid, by the way. I totally fucking disapprove. I fucking vehemently disavow anybody who's willing to harass somebody in real life because it's just internet
100%.
shit, right?
Yeah.
So for him to insinuate that,
But it
about
was
my
really
fan
funny.
base,
It was really funny.
for him to insinuate that is
Yeah.
fucking blatantly retarded. Now, the thing that fucking the thing that makes me laugh the most is this guy invites people to his house.
That's
like
it,
Frank.
dude.
He invited Frank to his house. He's like, "Oh, you're scared? 4 miles? Fucking drive here, pussy."
Well,
so I
well,
don't
this is the
understand.
thing,
to
like,
defend him, and there's audio of that guy going like, "I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to like it." It's like,
This is the
what
thing.
am I supposed to do?
He truly cannot help himself. This is the problem. Like, you or I, we see someone saying they're going to come to our house, right? We shut the fuck up. We don't say anything about it, and they probably fuck off. With Boogie, it's like, oh, you want to come? Well, you better come fucking packing. Like, and it's bad because he's like such a fake tough guy too. But
All right, so right here, they're talking about Frank Castle and everything that went down with that. And then they're talking about how Boogie is making the situation worse for himself. That, like, most people, they would just, like, let it be, call the cops or whatever, ignore it, and it would blow over. But Boogie tells the guy, like, oh, come to my house, I'm packing, I'm gonna kill you, all this shit, right? And now, as someone like Boogie, who's highly anxious and highly paranoid, I think I can give some insight on this. I suffer from a lot of anxiety and paranoia myself, right? I'm from the streets, right? So that's my background. I want to talk about this a little bit now. Now, you ever see, like, videos, rappers waving around guns, or they get in each other's live stream? They get in a live stream with ops, bro, and they be talking about, like, oh, I'm gonna do this and that, yada yada, fuck your dead homies, all that kind of shit, right? Most of that is all driven from fear, man. It's the fear of you need to, like, show your strength and show that you're one to not be fucked with, and then you have the capability to enact whatever kind of defense or violence you need to enact, right? So, like, that's kind of what I see going on here. Boogie thinks this guy is coming to harm him, and he's freaking out, and as a fear response, he's saying, like, oh, don't mess with me, don't mess with me, I got that blick, I'll use it, you know? Kind of like you see a rattlesnake when they shake their tail. They don't do that, you know, when they're attacking a prey, when they're hunting. They shake their tail when they're scared, as like a last line of defense before they do have to fight, right? To say, like, I don't want to engage in this. So you need to understand that what's happening here is a fear response.
you say that you think maybe he knows, but for him, he's so delusional. Like, Boogie could believe anything. I think if you really like just push him a little bit, he will run. Like, for example, with this thing, right? He was in DMs telling me that there were commentary channels like Mudahar who were like spreading fake stuff about his girl and like insinuating he's a pedophile for dating this girl. I don't think Muda did that. I didn't do that. I don't know I don't know that any commentary channel that I've seen, like, on our size has done that. Maybe there's some one random guy, but Boogie tends to, like, conflate things. So, like, if one random guy says something, he will conflate that as, like, the entire internet thinks this, you know.
Now, the most surprised and impressed I've been with all of this is Turkey Tom. he seems to have some of the most sensible and well thought out takes of the situation. Seems to really understand what's going on with Boogie here. And now the guy did say that he recently went to Boogie's house, so I think that plays a big part of it. Seems to be a little bit more empathetical of the situation. I'd hope that maybe when he talks about Boogie going forward, he won't be as cold and harsh and judgmental as he has been in the past. Now, like, obviously we need to criticize Boogie, but I feel like the type of person Boogie is, it should be helped with care. And now I understand no one has to do that. I'm not telling people like you're a bad person if you don't do this. I'm just throwing my fucking foot in the ring, you know. I'm just fucking getting in here, getting my 2 cents in too. And like, if you want to take it to heart and internalize it, I think that would be good, because I do think that if we have a softer approach to Boogie, but still have that criticism and have that tough love, will make a big impact. And this last Turkey Tom clip right here, I think this does a very good job of pointing out that I think these people get it. So maybe slow down with your like harsh tactics, because I think you guys get it. So that's all the clips I have for this episode. This was episode 2 of the Lolcow Live podcast. This was the one with the farmers. The first one I did a little review and a little overhaul of things that was talked about on Moist Critical. You could see that, and then I have my video that's about Boogie and Mudahar's fight on Review Text USA. You can check those videos out too. I'm gonna keep covering all this. It's pretty interesting content. I found a little opening here, so I'm going for it. I'm going for the dagger, just like a shark. I smell that blood in the water. I'm going for the kill. You know, this might be my chance to break in, so let's see what happens. Anyways, peace out, bitches. Have a good day.
Always stuck in cycles, my head it spins around, yeah, it feels just like a cyclone. I don't know which way to go, I'm stuck way down low, I can never get it right. My heart is broken, yeah, it's never right. Yeah, you never trust me, right? All you did was yell and fight, trying to work harder, trying to make something on a come up. Oh, you dumb, huh? Gotta get it, I know that I'm the one, yeah. Shut the fuck up, bitch, you don't have no shit to say. I've been balling harder every day, I can't let them tear me down and get in my way. Gotta focus harder, so I'm working harder. Everybody knows I played it smarter. Been saying all of that shit, you talking whack. I can't listen, you was not on facts. What the fuck was that? Tryna blow up, no, my brothers got my back. No, my brothers got my back. Whoa, I don't do friends. If you not on some 15-year shit, you can kick rocks. I don't do no TikToks. Yeah, I'm from the block, selling fucking rock. Whoa, I got pain, yeah, I got pain. It's way down in my brain, in my soul, it's hard to maintain. Hustle harder, find my way. You's a goofy, you ain't had no shit to say.